Hello all and welcome back. In this video we are going to cover S3 versioning followed by a quick demo. S3 versioning helps to keep multiple variants of an object in the same bucket. S3 versioning can be used to preserve, retrieve and restore every version of every object stored in the S3 bucket. S3 object versioning can be used to protect from unintended overwrites and accidental deletions. As versioning maintains multiple copies of the same objects, charges can occur for the multiple versions stored. Buckets can be in any one of the following three states: unversioned, which is the default, versioning enabled, and versioning suspended. Versioning enabled on a bucket applies to all the objects within the bucket, and you can define permissions at the version level. Irrespective of the versioning, each object in the bucket has a version. For a non-versioned bucket, the version ID for each object is null. For versioned buckets, a unique version ID is assigned to each object. Version ID forms a key element to define the uniqueness of an object within the bucket. S3 versioning can be used with MFA to provide additional security. Let's navigate to the S3 console and let's create a new bucket for the demo. Let's name our bucket Jayendra Patil-versioning. It's unique and it's available. Let's keep most of the defaults. For the region, let's use US East North Virginia, ACLs disabled, block all public access enabled, versioning disabled to start with, encryption using Amazon S3 managed keys, and object lock disabled. Let's go ahead and create our bucket. And the bucket has been successfully created. Let's navigate to the Objects tab. Let's upload an object to the bucket. We are just going to create a new file called unversion.txt and use the s3cp command to upload the object to the bucket. For the unversioned bucket, the version ID for each object is null, but it's not shown. Also for the unversioned bucket, show version option would not be shown as well. Let's now update the same object. Let's change from v1 to v2 and let's copy the object back to the bucket. The object has been updated. If you upload a new version of the same object in an unversioned bucket, the previous version is lost and cannot be restored. Let's go ahead and enable versioning on the bucket. Let's navigate to the bucket properties. Let's edit the bucket versioning. S3 object versioning is not enabled by default and has to be explicitly enabled for each bucket. Remember, versioning once enabled cannot be disabled and can only be suspended. Objects uploaded before the versioning is enabled has the version ID of null. And versioning can be used with MFA as an additional security layer. Let's enable the versioning and save the changes. Let's navigate back to our buckets object. You can now see the show versions option. Let's enable it. And you can see the version ID for the unversioned object, which is null. Let's add an object to the bucket now. Let's create a new file version.txt and let's use the AWS s3cp command to upload the object to the bucket. Let's check the object and versions. You can see the version ID for the object now. Version ID forms a key element to define the uniqueness of an object within a bucket along with the bucket name and the object key. Let's edit the file couple of times and update it. And let's upload it. You can now see the latest uploaded file at the top and the earlier file versions below it. The file with v3 is the current version of the file, and the v2 and v1 are the older versions. Let's download the file and check. Using the AWS S3cp command, it will download the current latest version of the file. And yes, it shows the version v3. You can also download specific version of the file, but you need to use the S3 API command. Let's copy the version ID of an earlier file version and execute the command. The command has been successfully executed and it returns a JSON response. Let's check the contents of the file, and it shows the previous version. If you delete objects on a versioned bucket, Amazon inserts a delete marker, which becomes the current version, and the previous latest file becomes the previous latest version. Let's go ahead and delete the unversioned txt file and check. A delete marker has been placed. Let's go ahead and delete the version file now. And a delete marker is placed for the version file as well. Let's try to download the version file now using the copy command. An object retrieval on a bucket with a delete marker as the current version would return a 404. You can also delete a specific version of the file using the S3 API command. Let's copy the version ID of the previous file and execute the command. And the command has successfully executed. The version is now permanently deleted and cannot be restored anymore. You can restore the previous non-current object by either deleting the delete marker itself, or you can copy the previous version of the file and upload it again to be the current version. Let's delete the delete marker using the S3 API command and the delete marker version ID. Let's copy the version ID for the delete marker and execute the command. And the delete marker has been successfully deleted. And now, as you can see, the previous non-current version is the current version of the file. So that's it for the S3 versioning demo. I hope you find the demo useful. Thank you all.
Alright, that was it. Thank you for watching. You can check out my website and connect me on LinkedIn and Twitter. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. For any feedback, please leave a comment down below. To see more videos like this in the future, hit the subscribe button. Thank you.